Hello and welcome. I hope you had a good fourth. Yeah, we're running a little bit behind, right on time though. Abby got outside in the heat and was really wanting me to secretly go away so she could roll around and get stinky. And I said, no. So I kind of had to dawdle outside a little bit. My marigolds are coming up. You know what I thought would turn into lavender, which would but marigolds are good too. Actually, they're better. They repel uh, ticks, fleas, and mosquitoes. But I was thinking it was the fast growing, big stock stuff was the lavender coming up. But turns out it's going to be marigold. I've got a bud ready to burst open. I should have took a picture of it, but didn't have much time. So Shadowhawk, I did send you the link just a moment ago. Here he is. Uh, Welcome, sir. I hope you had a great fourth.
Hey Rex, what's happening, buddy?
Hey, a little late on sending out things, and but hey,
Yeah, it's all good. It's all
you
good.
crept up
Like I
on me.
said, I'm taking a lazy weekend this weekend anyway, so
Good for
spending
you.
time with
I'm
mom and the girls.
I'm trying to. Did you do your high noon today?
Yeah, I did a shorty today. It was only like
A
30 minutes.
shorty. Okay,
Yeah.
because I figured it was a shorty because you came in. Uh, was it a rant or did you review a
No,
book
no,
or?
no, no, no. Just talking about some weird things. It's been a very Twilight Zone weekend, and it's like
Yeah.
last night everything was really, I mean, amazingly just so cool, man. Everybody around here spent I don't know how much money, man, but there were fireworks every fucking where you looked. My daughter got to do her first time not being scared of them. Launch some Roman candles. And
Mm-hmm.
me and Mama just had such a great night. It felt like we were back at the campground because I've got the backyard finally set up to the point where we're so comfortable back there that it just feels like you're not even at home anymore. It feels like you're
Yeah.
just out in the wilderness. And just had a great night. And then I woke up this morning to this really strange fucking message that like made me to just was it was awkward and weird and fucking like just put me in a weird headspace. And then like an hour later, I got a knock on the door and I got a delivery from Elsie. He sent me something, and
Oh, that's
it's
always
just
cool.
been a crazy topsy turvy day, dude. But it's been good. I mean, it ain't been bad. It's just been
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah. I was one reason I was right before the show. I was responding to Tim Kincaid, who has Pack Mail. He's the owner, and he had contacted me on Facebook and wanted a friend request. So I said yes.
Uh-huh.
Um, and apparently I'm his only friend over there. I'm like, wow. I thought Tim was on. I don't know. He was saying how God was blessing whatever, and I did respond to him. I did say hello, whatever. Um,
Hmm.
welcome to Facebook, or I don't know what I said, but it was a greeting. And then he said something else. He said, why aren't you responding? I just read this before the show. Aren't you responding to my, sorry about that. I didn't realize it was that important to you. I mean, I'm not that, you know,
Now,
uh,
Who'd you
uh,
say this guy was?
he's the owner of where I got the ash can printed at, Pac Mail.
Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Cool.
We did 5 years of prison ministry together, and he
Right.
was the
Yeah.
chaplain out at the jail for a couple years. And he's an ex-inmate from years ago. He's
Right.
got
Right. So
got
yeah,
the
you told me like
testimony.
you had history with this guy. I just didn't realize that's who he was. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's you know, a good, he's a good guy.
An upstanding businessman, right?
I just,
Now.
yeah, I just went into his office. I don't, try and get too for me and go behind there. I'd ask, see the graphics place and thought, I'm going to slip back there and say hi to Tim. He just went in his office and I did. And then I went back to the graphics people, and talked to them. And Praetor
Right.
7 in the house. Hey, Praetor.
Hey,
Um,
Fredo.
One thing I did, yes, well, I mean, when I got home late last night, right? Which really
Uh-huh.
wasn't that late, to tell you the truth. It was about after maybe about 11.
Oh, that
So
ain't bad for you. Yeah, that's
no, I mean, I did the pre-spray on the 3rd, and then I went to the same complex over there. Wow.
yeah.
Usually
What?
they have an hour show.
Uh huh.
I doubt it was 20 minutes
Really?
this year. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I mean, this is the shortest it's ever been. Now
Holy
next year
shit!
maybe they'll have a blowout, but I couldn't believe that. And they didn't have the turnout. I mean, they had a good turnout, but I mean, it wasn't what I've seen it in the past. Even the fire department
Hmm.
came out late. I was already spraying, and it was wafting, I guess, across the plane.
Wow. Yeah.
Very good. The chemical was like getting
Mm,
good. And I had that thing on manual, so it really put out a bunch,
right.
covered it. And I went over it,
Dude,
you know, more than once.
you
They've
know
got
it's crazy because it was totally the opposite here, man. Like last year, 4th of July was a little tame around here because usually
mhm.
people go nuts. But last night, I mean, every direction you looked, like there were people that had to spend thousands of dollars of fucking money on fireworks because they were going from like 7 o'clock before it even got dark until like 3 o'clock in the morning, just constant, just fireworks, dude. It was
Yeah,
everywhere.
we've got I mean, they always spend a bunch and they're expensive, of course. They've just gotten
That ain't cheap.
out. Yeah, they ain't cheap. And because you bought some this year.
Well,
Uh
dude, I'll tell you what. I mean, that 125% tariff is definitely affecting the cost of fireworks. I can tell you that.
well, yeah, I mean, things are gonna level out, I think, after a while.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
it's a tactic. It's a matter of time. I'm not bitching
well,
about it. I'm
the
just saying
United
for
States, it's
timing. You know.
history too. I mean, we got like a bunch, 100% of our money from tariffs at one time,
Hmm.
in this country,
Yeah, we didn't
at
have
the founding.
income tax.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Did you guys see those fireworks warehouse explode last week? No, I didn't.
Oh
But now
no, I missed that.
we've got some of those fireworks, permanent fireworks place. In fact, I
Hmm.
saw a new one like going to Paragould. Sort of, there's two ways you can go to. Well, I mean, there's multiple ways you can go to Paragould, but two from Jonesboro that's really good. And I saw a fireworks place out there, and there's one out right off of like the city, right outside the city limits. I'm not even sure if it's outside the city limits. I think it is because I think the Lawson Road that's named after my step grandfather, I think that's the line. So they're just right out of the city limits. Um,
Oh, okay.
and so we have permanent fireworks places around here.
Oh yeah, we do
But
too.
now there's a lot of tents, a lot of those patriotic
Mhm.
looking tents and stuff like pop up too.
Well, a lot of
Um,
times you can get some good deals from those little roadside guys. You know, especially like
mhm.
on some like some maybe questionable with the local you know laws or whatever as far as fireworks go.
Oh, so they posted on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that's something like that. Yeah,
the
they
the
just put it on
explosion of the
eBay.
fireworks place.
Oh, oh, dude, can you imagine the fireworks place catches on fire? That's got to be. I mean, you're done from get go. Just get the hell away from it.
Should I show it?
I mean, I don't think it's gonna get us struck or nothing.
California fireworks warehouse explosion. Oh, okay. Well, news footage, somebody might claim it. You know what I'm saying?
Right? I don't know, bro. So
I mean, I can show the
if you don't think it's
picture.
worth
I can
taking a
show.
chance, then I wouldn't take a chance.
Take a chance on me. I know you hate that. ABBA. I like to put those things in your head, though. In your
Nah,
head.
you're just you will burn one day for this, Rex.
Yeah, check that out. I mean, pretty substantial. Wow.
Trader says doesn't show
What the
anything bad.
heck?
Oi, oi, Carrie. Hey,
Well,
Chief
yeah, I
Evan.
mean, just for
Damn,
putting
well,
other
dude.
people's content. Yeah.
Just imagine
I think
what's
it's
going
I
on
think it's
inside that
really going
place.
to go up
Well,
here in a minute.
that's why. Oh,
Oh, Doesn't that
Oh,
look like
holy!
a fall guy explosion?
Wow, dude. That
Yeah,
was a big
let's
old hunk
back
of
that up,
gunpowder
man.
just went off there. Wow.
Yeah, look, and they've got a pool right next door. Oh, that water was on that fire. Yeah,
Dude, I don't know if you'd want to be in that pool. I bet you got
boom.
real warm
Does
in there.
that not look better than Hollywood? My God, look
Dude,
at that. Boom. Wow.
reality is always better than Hollywood. Come on.
Yeah. Wow, look at that. Just
Soak
going
it in
up
water.
over the
Oh, yeah. All the little
yeah.
sparkles.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the most beautiful disaster I've ever seen.
I wonder if anybody was hurt in that. Look, the
I
pool's
hope
got
not.
debris in it now.
Yeah, dude,
Got
I'm trying to
half a
say,
wall in it.
I bet you that pool's warmer than shit right now, too.
Wow. That's
That's
incredible.
crazy.
After the
Wow.
explosion, fireworks started going off. Yeah. Caleb in the house. Woo! Tree goblin. It's
Okay.
beautiful. It's beautiful. And Carrie in the house. Hey, Carrie.
Like I said, that's the most beautiful disaster I've ever seen with all the little sparkles.
He says that he thinks people were missing, sadly. So
Oh,
maybe
shit.
some people did. If you were in the vicinity of that thing, man.
Oh, and Caleb says
Oh, it
they're saying
wasn't.
on the news that
Yeah.
they weren't even supposed to be storing fireworks at that place.
Mhm.
Wow. So they obviously weren't storing them safely because something bad happened.
Howdeer says American fireworks are better than Canadian fireworks. Well, that certainly was impressive. A whole place just going boom.
I don't know if I've ever had a Canadian firework. I thought they all came from China.
From China. From China.
China.
I'd like that. I probably will say that till the day I'm dead. Is like Trump says it. China.
It's in the universal lexicon now. All because of Trump.
Today, while it's still cold, now I'll mix it up a little bit, and it turned out purple. The flavor we will be drinking today is one of your favorite mythical characters.
Oh.
Unicorn.
No, God.
Yeah. Let's see how gay it tastes. Might make me horny, right?
Oh, Rex.
Wow.
Your forehead got something going on there.
Like Slaver. Have you seen Frog G? Frog G's got a slaver looking character. Now, I'm not saying Jason took my character, but he's got one. He's got a character very similar, skull like face with the, whatever here and fires. I don't know. It's wild. I hope he doesn't get on my ass and think that I took from him because I didn't.
Nah,
Homer in the house.
Dude, 2-3 years ago you had slavery already.
Yeah, it's been a while. Welcome to the show, Ethan Van Elzy.
LZ.
Yeah, he's wearing my favorite shirt. I think out of all of them, Space Adventure from the 60s.
I love it.
Yeah, Steve Ditko. I think on your sleeve there it's got Captain Adam. Yeah, in his original yellow and orange costume.
You got a missile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over here. And look
Those
at the back.
things are worth a little something, that and Space Wars done by Ditko, and yeah, that's cool. And you got some great shirts of late. But do you have your patriotic dump cake, Carrie? This time pineapple.
What's patriotic about pineapple?
It's a dessert for 4th of July. Don't
sense.
call me out on. Yeah, but I've been doing these mini ones, and they've been actually. Now I did cherry with a lot of walnuts. Mm-hmm. Oh man,
I can smell it through the TV, man.
Big old chunk. Oh man, I can smell it too.
Give me the munchies. Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go back and get me a something.
I did that
snacked
when I
on
came
here.
home yesterday. Hey,
Not
Mikey,
that Mama
he
makes some
won't eat it.
dessert
He
tonight.
hates everything. Remember
She was
that?
debating it last night. But hey, Mikey, yeah, you know what you get, Mikey, or you know what you get
Cereal?
an 80-year-old lady for birthday? You get Mikey. He'll eat anything.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I wanted to show Carrie this. Something else stupid. Yeah. Anyway, I've shown
It
this
is a
before.
terrible name, isn't it? Crazy?
One of those Target Doctor Who books, The Invisible Enemy by Terrence Dicks. Terrence wrote a lot. He was a showrunner, and this one's signed by one of your favorites, and it is the fourth Doctor,
Tom
Tom
Baker.
Baker. Inside
The
it's signed
only
Leah, the
Doctor.
fourth. Leah was the companion, Louise Jamison, so she signed it inside.
Wait, was
I
she
do
the
have
Jungle
some.
Girl or was she?
She was the Jungle Girl, yeah.
Yeah,
I will be
yeah.
right
My
back.
favorite.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Dump Cake is both a terrible and awesome name. Yes. Well, the way you make a dump cake, if you don't know, Tom Baker equals GOAT of Doctor Who. There you go.
Hell yeah.
That's what Shadowhawk says. 7 seasons before he regenerated into a young man. Let's see, dump cake. Oh, how you make a dump cake? Just get a pan like that or larger. And, usually I make the large size, but this I was making for myself. And that's worked out really good. I only have to use about half a cake mix, on these small ones. And that's being generous with it,
My method
And
is a lot different. First, you have to eat a whole cake, and then the next morning.
oh, okay, yeah. And make sure you got plenty of unicorn juice on
Yeah,
hand.
and
Yeah.
yes.
Well, if
that's
Luke can drink blue milk, then I can drink purple unicorn Kool-Aid or
I
whatever
guess
it is.
if you want to be as gay as they made Luke Skywalker, sure you can.
Well, tomorrow we'll have mermaid. How about that? We'll just mix up mermaid. These
That
are
was
TikTok-inspired flavors. I don't know. Maybe they did a testing.
Mermaid tastes like
They
tuna
said this
juice.
tastes like unicorn. Well, how would you know? But they named
Yeah,
it unicorn.
what's a unicorn taste like? Exactly.
Purple.
Purple.
Some of these
I can taste
weird
colors,
name ones are kind of hard to, if it's orange pineapple, you kind of know. Okay.
Right.
But,
yeah, you can kind of
but
discern it.
unicorn, it's anybody's game. It's not quite like Kool-Aid. They taste sweeter than Kool-Aid.
It's unicorn pee. That's it. I mean, that's
maybe. Who knew they peed purple though?
I know. Well, they're magical creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, Praetor. A dump cake is a lazy cobbler, I guess. It's like you
Mama's
put the fruit
calling.
in.
I'll be right back.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Just say I gotta be right. Hey, Mikey.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey,
hope you had a good 4th.
Hey, yeah, no, yeah, after, July 1st, we had our form of Independence Day here in Canada.
Because you're in Canada, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, what do you guys call that day? Is it just Canada Day? What's it called?
Yeah, Canada. Yeah, it's just called Canada Day, which was on the 1st. I had a friend of mine who actually went in for heart surgery that day.
So geez.
And if you drink ginger ale, they call it Canada Dry.
Canada Dry Day.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, but anyway, like I said, a very good friend of mine went to heart surgery on the 1st.
Oh,
and he made it. He got through. So he's got to spend the rest of the weekend, at least through the hospital until he goes back home. So,
I'm glad he's okay.
Have you ever tried dump cake, Mikey?
I can't eat the pineapple. Told you, man.
Okay, but I mean, if you
You can
you
make
put
it
your
any
fruit
flavor
in,
you want.
this is how you make one, real easy. And Prador
Yeah.
7's
Yeah,
exactly
Rex is
right. It's
trying to
probably a
clear his
lazy,
guts again.
Yeah, Suzanne
lazy
has made a
cobbler. You
cobbler
put your
similar to that. Yeah, she's
you
made a
put your
thing
fruit
similar
in,
to
you
that.
put your nuts in, or whatever you want.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess I put M&Ms in some. I topped them,
She
uh,
did a
and put your
she
dry
did a
cake
banana.
mix and melt enough butter to cover the top. Put it in for about an hour, and you got it. Maybe
Yeah,
an
she
hour
did
and
a
50
banana.
minutes.
She did a banana cake
Good
like
stuff.
that with
I'm a
little
witness,
chocolates.
brothers.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
little yeah.
It's good.
Yeah,
It is
she's
good.
done that. Lemon cake too. She's made lemon cake similar to that, Rex.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Any flavor,
Yeah, my wife
peaches,
with lemon frosting and stuff.
whatever you want, man.
What's
Oh,
up,
yeah.
Kevin?
Yeah, now things
Yeah.
like little mandarin oranges, you'd have to put a ton of them to get a lot of flavor because there's not
Yeah.
a lot of flavor after you cook it. I've tried that and been disappointed just about every time. But now I might try that in a little
Caleb.
mini pan where it'd be more concentrated.
Hey
Cake.
Rex, what about a cake filling? Would that be better? Like whatever
Oh,
flavor?
Well,
Yes,
yeah,
lemon
I
A
mean, you
filling.
can do
pie
that, like,
filling, a pie filling.
yeah,
A
oh
lemon
yeah, I've
flavored
done
pie
that.
filling. Yes.
I've
Yes.
done pie fillings. Yeah, they're good.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah, Mama Hawk will
Absolutely.
do that with
You
like
can.
the
By the
cherry
way,
pie
hey
filling where
Mikey,
it's got the whole cherries plus the like syrup or whatever. That shit's good, man.
I guess you could do pudding in one as well, huh?
You can.
Oh,
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah,
that would be
Chocolate
why not?
good.
pudding I've had before. Yeah.
Now cherries are due to go up. Now I'm told there's a shortage. That the cherry crop this year has not been
Really?
big for some reason. Yeah, cherries
I
are
don't
probably
see
going to go up
how.
in
We
price.
got
For cherry
plenty of
trees?
rain up
Oh, yeah.
in Michigan and stuff around here. All our orchards should be
It might
kicking
just
right
be
now.
regional. They were saying that there was quite a shortage. I
Mm.
don't know why, but there was. I heard that on the radio about a week or
Well, I
Yeah,
know.
so
people,
ago.
I know in my part of the country, Michigan and Wisconsin are big cherry growers. As far as out west goes, I don't know who else is big.
Oh,
in
there's
it.
cherry orchards up north in Arizona, so I know they have some cherries.
Really?
There.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
right around Williams and Arizona, and I think Winslow.
Well, most
even
of
has
our nuts, like walnuts or almonds, things like that, come out of California, and they've been
Yeah.
screaming for more water, and the California won't give them more water. They've been screaming for years for that.
Well, dude, the
They've
price
even
on
had,
nuts just keeps going up and up, man.
yeah,
That ain't
Yeah,
that
they
ain't
raised the price.
it ain't never
everything,
coming
Everything,
back down.
everything.
A nice
everything. Yeah,
pecan
but
will cost
especially
you
peanuts and
serious money these days.
yeah,
and one of the
but
best things you
especially
can
peanuts,
eat,
walnuts, and cashews is what I
yeah,
say.
Cashews.
walnuts.
Oh, dude, I
I
love
couldn't even
cashews
find
too.
walnuts at Walmart last time I went.
That's what I'm saying.
What are
Couldn't
the
even
little
find
ones? The
cashews.
it's not cashews. The ones that they can come with the shell on or the shell off, but they just got
It's
like a
not.
little, almost like a sunflower seed inside there.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
pistachio.
I got
Pistachios. Yeah,
pistachio.
Oh, Elsie,
those things are
Elsie,
good, dude.
I see
Yes.
your Silver Surfer up there. We lost Julian McMahon, who was the Victor Von Doom in the first two. We lost him at the age of 56. He died of cancer.
Wow.
Who
Wait
was
a
that?
minute.
Man, that's
Yeah,
Who was that,
young.
first
Mikey?
Doctor Doom.
The dude that was in Nip Tuck?
Yeah, Nip Tuck. Yep.
Oh
And he was in
shit! I didn't
Charmed
know
for
he.
3 seasons as Cole Turner. Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
yeah. I didn't know he died, dude.
Yeah, Julian McMahon.
Oh shit! Yeah, he did a couple of seasons on American Horror Story as well.
Oh yeah, the American Gothic horror stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. He also, the last thing he worked on, he was with Nicolas Cage in The Surfer. I think that was last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn! I had no idea he
Man.
died. Holy shit!
And that's young.
Yeah,
That's young. That's
found
young,
out
dude. He's fucking younger than me. Shit.
Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah, he was a great. You know what? Julian was a great Victor Von Doom.
I liked him. I thought he did a good job. He unfortunately wasn't in the best movie, but he did a good job.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, that's just a shame. And
That's
that's a
awesome.
young. That's a young age for him. That's a young age for someone. I mean, I know it was cancer, but geez, I mean, 56. I was
Brother,
like,
I was 12 when he was born. Okay, so
oh,
There you go.
Elsie, you're showing your age there, man.
Well, dude, I
Who I am,
turned
brother.
58 back in March,
When
so
I
I'm
when I
older than
reach
he is.
120, I'll tell you I'm 120. You know.
Yeah.
In
I'm
dog years,
still-
I'm 327.
Yeah, but I'm
Ancient.
still-
I'd have to figure out dog
60.
years.
You're older than America, Shadow.
I don't know if it was your daughter I asked Elsie or not, but we were trying to figure out dog years, and it might have been your daughter said that first year was like 50 for all dogs for 15 years, and then 7 or 8 for the second year, and then about 5 for each year after that. So I figured Abby to be about 80 years old.
Yeah, but you guys
And
know about my
Well,
2 cats. And
If you averaged it out over the lifetime, they say it usually works out to about 7 years.
Yeah.
Per year.
well, our oldest cat, Moon Pie, is in human years is 56, and the other one, Deja Vu, is 28 years old in human years. So
My cat just turned 10, so I don't know how.
No
How does that go?
teenagers,
How
huh?
does
that's
that go,
70.
Mikey?
Yeah, your
How does that go,
Shadow
Mikey?
is 70. Yes. Mhm.
You got 'em
How
up?
does
How
that
old?
go? 10 a year?
I've got a question. What kind of nut is a filbert?
Okay.
I don't know what's a filbert.
I don't know what he's talking
Filberts.
about. Explain to us, Caleb.
I
Yeah,
thought he was.
yeah,
I thought he was chiming in. Like
Oh,
pistachio.
filberts. Yeah, filberts are. I've heard of those. Like, they are some kind of nut. I think it's just a different name for.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
bye,
there might
honey.
be
Have a good
something.
night. Say bye to baby
I'm
Hawk. She's
so-
going to spend the night
I'm
with
Bye,
her.
baby.
Yeah.
Take
Oh,
care,
they're-
sweetheart.
Oh, they're
Oh,
hazelnuts.
that hazelnut.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
out there. Thank you, man.
Well, when
How
Shadowhawk was
dear.
saying
How's
that,
it
I was
going?
trying to think of macadamian. All kinds of different smaller nuts.
Well, I
They're out
want to
there.
tell you what my grandma used to call certain nuts.
Okay.
These nuts.
Those were older times.
Shadow looked up and said, "These nuts."
Okay. Oh, filberts are hazelnuts, Helder says. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew they were a name for hazelnuts are good, man. I love
like
that.
hazelnuts, but not
Hazelnut
necessarily.
hazelnut paste stuff they make, good shit.
Yeah,
Not
I'm old
necessarily
enough
in
to
my
remember. I'm old enough to remember that commercial that said, "Almond Joy's got nuts, mounds don't, because sometimes
Yeah.
you feel like, sometimes you don't."
Sometimes don't.
Yeah, I mean, certain
Give me
nuts are
mounds.
good
Enough
for
to eat
you.
that.
Your digestive tract. They have benefits. Walnuts might even, cure a little leaky gut, from other things that kind of poke holes in your intestine, which is only like,
Yeah, you gotta be
But now
careful what
I've
kind of
stopped caring. I've stopped eating cashews, and they are good. But now cashews are one of those that poke little micro holes in you, supposedly. So I just don't eat those. There's
They're
some.
bad for you now. I love cashews.
I know. I love them
I didn't
too.
know
I
you
mean,
knew that, Grandma.
I
bad
remember
for
the
you,
time I
Dad.
threw
Ain't
one
nothing good
up.
for you, brother, when you
threw
get
some
my
up.
age.
RJ
Look at
William
RJ
in the
William.
house.
RJ,
Hey,
hey.
you guys. Oh, I
What's
remember that.
up?
I'm old enough to remember PBS, old time PBS.
The
RJ.
electric company.
Still watch
The
it,
electric
bro.
company. Or how about
Hey, man,
Montezuma,
that
Zuma,
Victor
Zuma,
Morgan Freeman, man. You seen how popular Morgan Freeman is, but back then,
Bro,
you didn't
Easy
know
reader,
Morgan-
man. I didn't even know who
Yeah.
he was. He was an easy reader back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Man.
knew. Yeah.
Hell,
Rita
Elmer
Moreno
Glitch
was
in the
on there
house.
too. Didn't you? Hey, you guys remember Rita
Oh,
Moreno?
my.
West Side Story was on there too. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Today on the
I-
Rex Hex and Apex
Oh, dude, she's
show,
hot.
we had
I
Elliot
used to like her.
Rodriguez. Elliot Rodriguez was our special guest on the Rex Hex and Apex show. He's almost up to
Nice.
80 backers, $2,433 with his ominous Avenging Death campaign over on Fund My Comic. I will drop the link in the chat and you can go check it out for yourself. It's a pretty neat looking comic, actually.
Back Elliot today.
Elliot, ouch, E.T.
Ah, somebody got it. Thank
Yeah.
God.
I got it. Yeah, I've been trying to get rid of it, but I did get it.
I
I'm
can do
still
I
lost.
can do ET pretty well. I'd be like, I'll be right here.
Mikey, can you
It's
do
like
the
I
neck
was. It's
thing?
like I was
Remember
there.
when he did the neck thing?
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He
Yeah,
looked like
oh
one of
yeah.
those boxers when they get hit, you know?
Yeah. You'll
Or a
rock 'em, sock 'em
turtle.
robots.
You know, I never thought about this till recently, Shadowhawk. I saw something. The Blues were Democrats and the Republicans were red, and they did a rock'em sock'em, you know, Democrat and
Robot.
Republican boxing
Oh,
each
really?
other.
Holy
Yeah,
shit! I didn't. I've
yeah, and
never
the
seen
head
that
goes.
one.
Yeah,
Well,
I said that's
I
They put
know.
clever.
a little donkey head on the
Yeah,
Democrats and a little elephant head on.
Hey, you might have something on the market there, Shadow. Make $1 million.
That might be kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
they're making them old toys again, dude. They're doing reissues of like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, the Evil Knievel Stunt Cycle. You can get you a brand new off the line Evil Knievel Stunt Cycle, just like the one
Cool.
I had when I was a kid. Those things
Oh
were
yeah,
fun,
I saw
bro.
that recently.
Yeah,
You
you were
got
talking about
still got the
yeah,
wind
you were
up
talking
launcher and everything, man. Ah, God, those things were
right.
cool.
Yeah, you guys were talking about boxing bags, and you remember in the Yellow Submarine animated movie with the Beatles did, and he got those punching bag blue meanies, the ones
Oh
that
yeah,
had like punching bag faces and stuff. Oh my god, man!
I
I
almost
remember
Oh,
going
that,
forgot.
to
I've
boxing
got a
gyms
hole
and
in
shit,
my pocket.
like punching those things. Yeah, exactly. Blue meanies. Yeah.
all that
I
violence.
love when Ringo pulls the hole out of his pocket.
I have a hole in my pocket.
I have a hole in my pocket.
There's a
He
hole
throws
in
it on
my
the floor and
bucket,
the
dear
meanies just
Liza.
falling.
Dear Liza, there's a hole in my bucket. Go fix it, dear Henry. Dear Henry. Remember that?
I got a hole in the bucket, dear Henry, dear Henry.
Mikey, I think you're a little bit younger than we are, although you look
I'm
physical.
turning 60. I'm turning 60 in a couple of months.
Oh
Are you
shit! Well,
okay? So you're
you're right
my
in
age.
there.
I turned 60 in November.
Yeah, I
You
turned
turned
58
60
in
in
March.
November? Wait
Yep.
a second. So, Rex, you're telling me I'm actually 2 months older than you are?
Yes, you are. And the beard
Oh
shows
my
it if you
God.
came
Wow,
on camera.
dude. I didn't even know. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't even
I
know.
thought we established that on your last broadcast and we were
It's
kind of
it's
Yeah, we
talking
might
about
have
it.
amazing
that.
how well you're
Absolutely.
holding up, Mikey.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Yeah, I remember that. Weebles
Yeah,
wobble, but they don't fall down.
we're getting along just fine. Yeah.
I plead
I'm
the
old
Years
enough
fifth.
of
to remember.
experience.
I'm old enough to
We
remember
pulled well.
munchie cheese.
I'm sorry. Life experience.
I'm sorry, Omer cracked me up. He threw out there
Well,
Weebles
I
wobble,
mean,
but they
Mikey
don't
can
fall
back
down.
me up on this, and so can LZ because he's already went past 60. Life
Yeah.
does not end at 60, folks.
No, it doesn't.
It can. It doesn't mean it
Well,
Well,
it
does.
yeah,
almost
it could.
May not make it to
well,
60.
it almost yeah. Well, my
I
dad,
mean, look at that poor Julian dude. It ended at 57 for his ass.
it almost did for my
Woo!
dad.
I'm already beating him.
Because he had his first real heart attack when he reached 60, but then he's alive now still. He's going to turn 81 this year, so yeah.
Wow, that's all.
Almost did for
RJ's
him.
campaign,
Like,
call
I don't
sign
want to get to that
Orion over
point.
there on Famicom.
Oh yeah, there's call sign Orion. I
Hey,
remember
RJ.
seeing.
Yeah,
Oh man, yeah, that looks cool.
Gotta get some more
yeah.
people over there backing that boy.
It's got a Doc Blaylock cover. It's
Nice.
got a lot of stuff going
Yeah.
for it. It's
I think he's got Luke doing the interiors on that book.
got Luke.
Luke
Yeah, that's
Stone.
what I was going to say. Luke Stone.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
this
that,
Doc Blaylock
also-
cover?
Oh, nice. Nice.
yeah, that's Doc Blaylock cover. Yeah,
I
damn
wonder
dirty
what
thing.
we
got
I
going on
checked my
there.
mail. I still don't have mine, but I got a paycheck today, so
Hey,
I don't
we'll
care.
see. We'll see. I'm so glad I got to see you, Elsie, because I gotta ask you. Okay,
Yeah.
would you recommend Fantastic Four First Steps, knowing
What's
that you're
first?
not going to see Robert Downey Jr. in his Doctor Doom mask until almost the end, like around I think a post-credit scene or some shit. Excuse my language. Sorry.
We were talking about that last night, brother.
Oh, I didn't even know. Sorry. But what was your view on it?
No, I'm not. I'm kind of getting into it. What I'm saying is, my daughter was talking about it, and I'm like, I didn't know, you know.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I want to see it.
Robert
I'm not
Downey.
happy with the casting, but
Yeah, but
I want to see it. I hope they do something good with the Fantastic Four for one.
yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
Shadow on that, man. Because the first
But
one's
it's
the only good one. I even think they had a good movie.
yeah. Oh, you haven't seen
I
Stan
mean, I
Lee
like.
in that wedding one with the Silver Surfer. Wow.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
Love
that's the
Stan
one.
Lee.
That's the only
out
good
of
one.
all of them,
That's
dude,
the
I think
only
my
good
favorite
one, in my
one so
opinion.
far was the John Carpenter or not John Carpenter. What was the
Oh
guy's
wow.
name? The B
Whoa.
Is this
movie director.
wow, that looks like electronic
Fim,
King Kong size.
Finback
Damn.
with the Tata.
And he really does shoot like missiles out. Okay.
It's Mechacon.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. But you're looking forward to it, LZ. Okay, cool. Yeah, I am
I'm
too. I want
thinking,
to see it.
I'm
but I
hoping they don't
still
fuck
have a
up
hard
Superman too
time,
bad
brother.
either. But I don't know.
It's still a hard time me taking Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom
Taking him
right
seriously.
now. Right
Yeah, me
now.
too.
Because
Yeah.
all I've seen is Iron Man, and I respected that
Tony
role.
Stark.
And
Yeah.
I would have gone out with it myself. But
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, though, dude. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is a good enough actor that I think he's
I
gonna
think
be a
so
good.
too.
He's gonna be a
good
good
actor.
Doom. It's just gonna be hard, like you're saying, to put the Tony Stark out of your head because he
Yeah.
was so good as Iron.
To like erase that memory because he was the very first Marvel movie when they
But
restarted
dude, he
their
was such a good Iron Man
phase.
too. He just like
But
he,
Rex,
you know.
would it
Well, he
not
did
be
3 of them.
wise to do that to all movies? Erase your prejudices and all that before you go?
I mean, I try,
Or
but you
not?
still gonna
Or
have
not?
opinions, right? You know.
That's true.
Well,
That's
Well,
you
true.
I
know,
mean,
We're human.
I,
We're
Mikey have
human.
talked about this before.
we
Star
did
Trek Continues, which you can watch all 10 episodes on
11,
YouTube.
11 episodes, Rex.
Is it 11? Okay.
Yeah, it is
And
11.
it's not William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and McCoy. It just isn't. But I mean, once you get past that and you watch a few episodes, you're like, this is damn good. This is like a
This is like
continuation.
TOS, but brought back to a new generation. And Vic Mignogna is so good at what he did. I mean,
Yeah, and they were very faithful where they could bring in like Scotty's son to play Scotty
Chris,
and
Chris Stewart. Yeah, he's
the
great.
Romulan that fell in love with Spock. You know,
Right.
her
They brought
daughter
her
plays
back for that.
her,
Yeah.
and she looks so much like her mother. You know, they were
Oh,
very
wow.
faithful.
she is actually. That is the daughter, the one that plays the Romulan commander in the
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
SB's 2-parter at the end.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that is the daughter of the actual actress who played in
Absolutely.
the Enterprise incident. Yeah, that's her. So I was like,
Oh, that's amazing. That's pretty cool, actually.
yeah. Well, and you
Really
guys
is.
remember the Mirror Universe, right? Okay.
Oh yeah.
So that was Barbara Luna, who was the original lady in the Mirror Universe. And what they did was, in the Fairest of Them All, which is episode 3 of Continues, they brought her daughter in, and her daughter was the lady on the other side of the Mirror Universe.
Well,
And that
number
was
one,
so cool.
no, I forget the actor's name, but the very first one they brought back Apollo. You know, the god Apollo
Michael
from that
Forrest.
one.
Yeah, that was Michael Forrest. Yeah. They brought that
Oh,
back. The
for
Yeah.
Battlestar.
I've been
yeah,
watching
for
him.
Moorns.
I've been watching him in like Gunsmoke and other westerns like that
Yeah.
around the time.
Right. He was in that TOS episode, Who Mourns for Adonai. So then
Yeah,
what they did was Vic asked him personally if he could come back and start his continued series. He said, oh, absolutely. So he comes back for Pilgrim of Eternity. And just that's the first episode. So like, yeah.
And they brought back Sulu in an episode, which was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the one where he's a caveman. It's
Yeah.
What?
Wow. Yeah.
I missed
Yeah,
that.
and he shows up with his daughter, you know, which
that's
is
his
like,
actual
wow,
daughter,
he's got
right?
a daughter. But
Yeah, he had it. Well, he did. He had Demora, but that was supposed to be another lady playing a younger Demora Sulu, I guess. So, because remember, he had Demora in that Star Trek movie, which also had Alan Ruck as Captain Harriman, the Generations movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I never watched that one.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, so many ties. Well, you know what? Like I said, if you want, after you've seen all 3 seasons of TOS, and you go into into the animated series, which has 22 episodes. This is my whole theory, which I think holds up really well. So you watch the 22 episodes, then you go ahead and you watch James Cawley's Star Trek New Adventures, which would have been technically phase 2 of what Roddenberry would have done if he had stayed alive. But since he passed, his son, Eugene Roddenberry Jr., took it over and said, "Okay, Cawley, you can do this." So he did 10 episodes of New Adventures, and that to me is basically would have been, the 4th year in space. Even though you don't see the original cast, but you see Cawley playing Kirk and others playing Spock and so forth. So that'd be like the 4th year in space, and then when you get to Manona's continues for 11 episodes, that is the 5th and final year in space. And if you follow it all the way to part 2 of To Boldly Go, that's the name of the 2-part episode. You see him talking to the crew in his Admiral outfit, and it comes complete circle because it goes right back to Star Trek, the motion picture, when he comes out of that monorail thing, and he's in his whole Admiral outfit, the original William Shatner.
Right. Well, because that was the original speech, right? Our 5-year mission, right?
Yeah, well, that was his original speech telling his crew that he was leaving to become the Admiral of Starfleet Operations. Like
No, but I mean, like at the beginning of the show, like
well,
the
yeah,
original.
right. And then he went and talked to them about Voyager and all that stuff. I thought that's very cool. I just complete circle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great series. You should check it out definitely on YouTube. It's
It's available. In fact, all the episodes are.
When I first got on YouTube, I was looking for different things Star Trek. I don't know why, but I found that series and found it to be a very cool series. But it did.
I'm glad that I recommended it to your Rex. Yeah, because it's. And
well, they started off with a banger with Apollo written in. I thought that's so cool that he came by and came back and reprised his role. Probably what? 40, 50 years later. It's amazing.
At least.
And they gave a reason why he's older.
Yes.
They worked it all in, Now, I watched him in Gunsmoke recently, and he needed to shave his, shoulders and back. Back then, he was kind of a woolly guy. And he's still in that first episode of Continues. He's still white and woolly, He looked like a damn sheep. I was like, why don't you shear that stuff off, man? It's not a great look. Yeah, Star Trek nerds. I don't know. When is the Fantastic Four movie coming out, or did it launch?
No, it's coming out soon, but
okay.
Towards
I like the retro, but I don't like the casting.
Yeah, July 27th, I want to say.
And then I agree with Shadowhawk. The voice does not fit the thing.
Yeah,
not like it should.
Well,
I mean,
now, okay.
The thing should talk like he's got gravel in his crawl. Like it's clobbering time.
Yeah. Well, already, let's see. Right now, Jurassic World Rebirth just came out July 2nd. Then July 11th is Superman. And then 2 weeks later, is Fantastic Four First Steps. And then in August, I'm looking forward to Toxic Avenger with Peter Dinklage playing the role. Yeah,
dude, it looks like they're gonna kind of go over the top with it, which I hope they do. Because the
original
Toxic Avenger is some of my favorite stuff, bro.
Well, I'm old enough to remember the 3 Trauma movies I watched, and I thought they're just so bad, but bad enough to be funny and good. And the guy that played
they're so bad, they're fucking amazing. It's
exactly. Yeah,
all the Trauma movies. You remember Class of Nukem High?
Yes. Oh God, Weekend at Bernie's.
I'm just talking about the Trauma movies. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, bro. Oh.
Hey, see, my wife Suzanne, like I said, she's 59. She's seen all the Killer Tomatoes, Attack of the Killer. There was other things. Killer
Oh god, dude,
Banana-
me and
Bananas
Mama
or
Hawk
something.
can sit around and watch marathons of that shit, bro, and just giggle.
Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing. I mean, like, yeah.
Oh, dude, Adrian Barbeau, God, man.
Oh God, man! How did she get into that film, man? Seriously, I don't even understand.
Dude, the original movie, The Fog.
Yeah, oh, The Fog. Yeah, I love The Fog.
And don't forget Creepshow. Everybody calls me Billy.
Oh, Creep Show. Yeah, we own them
I
actually.
love Adrian
Yeah, we
Barbeau.
own The Fog. Actually, you know what? We own both Fogs. We have the original Fog Carpenter, and then
And then the new one
the
with
other one with Dean Cain. Yeah, Dean Cain.
no, not Dean Cain. It was the Superman kid from the new show.
No, I know that, but no, he was also in the remake Fog. I thought he was in the remake Fog. I'd have to go take a look at it again. But
Not
we own
Dean
both
Cain.
Fogs.
That was the kid from the what was that called?
Franken stuff. That is really old for Nelson.
It was the WB one that was real popular for a minute, and then the one girl turned out to be in some kind of weird sex cult and shit. And,
Yeah, weird stuff.
what the fuck was that called? Smallville.
I never got Franken stuff.
It was
Smallville.
the Smallville show when they did the remake.
Oh,
of the
you're
Fog.
talking about Allison Mount. Okay, you're talking about Allison Mount, that blonde chick who.
Yeah, she ended up being involved in
Weird-ass
some
cult.
weird-ass cult.
Yeah. Okay, yes.
But the kid, Tom something, I think his name was. He did the remake of the Fog.
Yeah. Now that is a very old one of Farrah Fawcett and Lee Majors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, they were actually married for what, a couple of
Farrah
years?
and
were,
Lee,
one
everybody's doing it. Stars join the jogging craze.
Yeah,
Everybody's
but
doing
then
what?
you remember-
Farrah?
Yeah. Then you remember she ended up with her best friend Ryan O'Neal.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy. Isn't it?
Oh,
And he and his son
I know,
had
I
a big drug problem through the years.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was terrible.
apparently he was an abusive piece of shit too. So
Yeah, but you want to hear something weird though? Back then, when she was in that first season of, Charlie's Angels, and everybody said, "Oh, they had Farrah Fawcett on their wall, and and a poster and everything like that." I did not like Farrah. I liked Jill Monroe. Or Chris Monroe. I'm sorry, Cheryl
Yeah.
Ladd that came in the following
I can go.
season.
my favorite was always the long dark haired brunette. Not
You mean Jacqueline Smith?
Jacqueline Smith. Yeah, she was all.
Oh yeah, Jacqueline was cool. Well, she was the only one that lasted for all of the seasons.
Dude, she was. I mean, Farrah was all popping. She's like a shiny Corvette. The other girl was kind of playing like the girl next door, but Jacqueline was just. She was beautiful.
But I like seeing Cheryl Ladd in a police uniform though. Before she became a detective.
You
Oh, my
probably
gosh.
went.
And-
You
and
probably
she
went
was from
wild.
San Francisco. Well, no, and she was from my hometown of San Francisco. They said Chris Monroe, Cheryl Ladd, and I was like, okay, that's cool.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Cheryl Ladd. I didn't have nothing against her.
No, she was
She-
great
she
in
just
Las
wasn't a
Vegas.
Farrah
But,
Fawcett.
yeah, she
No,
was in that
I
series.
I like Farrah too. She was a beautiful girl, but I mean, to me personally, I always like Jacqueline Smith better. I like dark hair,
That's all
dark
right.
eyes.
Jacqueline
Until
was
you
just
saw
like
1
the
million
sweetheart.
years
Okay.
BC.
Was it Kate Jackson did Dark Shadows, right?
Kate Jackson? I don't think she did Dark Shadows.
Or was it the other one, Jacqueline Smith?
No,
Maybe
why-
Jacqueline
why-
Smith.
I don't think either one of them did.
Yeah. Oh, yes, one of them did. Yes, several seasons of Dark Shadows.
Kate Jackson
before
was
the-
like the tomboy looking one, right? With no boobs.
Okay, the
and
very
the
smart one. The very smart
Okay,
one was the one.
all
who
right,
did it.
That's
right.
her. Yeah, that's.
Now we
she
got a
was-
question from Omer. Wasn't Thomas Jane in the Fog remake?
Mm,
I don't.
maybe.
I like
don't-
Thomas Jane. I think he's a great
I like
actor.
Thomas Jane. I don't remember him being in there, Omer. Certainly not as the starring role, because like I said, it was the kid from
Yeah.
that Smallville. That they
I
used.
know he was the actor in that
Punisher.
Stephen King one that we talked about.
Yeah,
what was it called?
The other one, The
Uh,
Mist. The Mist.
The
I think
Mist.
it was.
Yeah, I know he was in
Yeah,
the
he
Mist.
was in The Mist.
And then of
Okay,
course,
time for a commercial.
All right.
He-
1977 Star Wars year.
Whammo
Okay.
presents Fun Fountain. Attach it to a garden hose, and you can start some good
Oh, I remember
splashing
this little
time.
fucker.
You and your friends can
Oh
splash.
gosh, I remember
and
those
dash,
things.
And leap and jump.
Dude, you remember the one that had the little
You can
tentacles
make
coming
Fun
out of its
Fountain
head and it
blast
would
off
whip
like
around
a little
everywhere, and
dove.
every time you jumped through it, it would just
Yeah.
smack
You
the
can
Octopus.
clown
Yeah.
around
It was,
with
it
Fun
was
It was
Fountain.
like one of those hot dog men in the windsock, whip around everywhere.
New from Whammo.
I do remember that, having that in my backyard. Oh man, wow. Oh jeez.
What,
That's
the fun
memories.
fountain? Did you have the fun fountain?
Yeah, well, we had a form of it. You know where they used to have the octopus, thing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we had
Mhm.
that. Yeah, we ran through that. Yeah, we had that. Not the clown one though. Yeah, they had one that they did in an octopus weird thing, and dangle and yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm the guy who used to have a Hot Wheels too. The toys.
Nearly 50
used to
years
have
ago,
Hot Wheels,
49
too.
years ago, McDonald's had red, white, and blue shakes for the bicentennial.
I did try one of those.
Did you? Which
Yeah.
one? Strawberry,
Yeah.
vanilla, or blueberry? Do you
I had
remember?
strawberry. It had to be strawberry for me.
Wow.
'Cause,
Okay.
yeah, I did have that.
Yeah.
Well, they just
know-
recently, my wife and I, they just recently here in Canada, the
mint.
McDonald's had their St. Patrick's Day, the green shakes. They
Yeah.
had those
Oh, yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Kind
St.
of like
Patrick's
the
Day.
green beer,
Well, when I was a drinker back in the day, Elsie, I did have green beer.
Did
Yeah,
you
go to
have
the
this
pub
poster
crawl.
in 1976? I did
No,
not,
my
but I
dad-
had friends that did.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, my mother would have killed me if I had that kind of poster. She said
Shamrock
that the
Shake.
group.
Hey,
Well, no,
Jason.
she would have. We're strict Roman Catholic, so she said that the name of Kiss was like Knights in Satan's Service. I was like, oh my god, okay, I can't
yeah.
have that, Mom. No. Yeah,
Or I
so-
heard Kings in Satan's Service.
I heard that too. I heard Knights. I heard that too.
Mhm.
Well, the thing is, I liked Kiss when they did the thing with what was that? Was that an animated thing with Santa Claus or some weird ass thing they did?
Oh, I don't remember
There was
that.
some movie they did. It was like a TV movie or something. They did with Santa Claus. Some kind of Christmas thing they did with them.
Wow. Yeah. I did
animated
not know
stuff.
this on July 4th, 1960, the 50-star flag of the United States made its debut in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania after the admission of Hawaii as the 50th state.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean 1960. Wow.
Hey,
That's
welcome
within our
back,
lifetime.
Shadow.
Almost.
Damn it, that was it. Nobody heard that.
I didn't know what happened to you just then. You
I
disappeared
get
for a while.
my internet kicked me. Oh,
So, guys, you guys recently celebrated 249 years as a country, and then
Right.
next year will be 250. Isn't that
Well,
insane?
now, Mikey, are you Canadian? I mean, are you
No,
Canadian?
I
thought
told you
were-
I was originally born in California, in Northern California.
Yeah, you're American. Yeah.
I'm
why
American.
are you living in Canada?
Why did I move to Canada? Because of my wife. She saved my life.
Ah. Oh, your wife's
She's a
Canadian.
native
Is
Canadian.
she from
Yeah.
Canadian?
She is. She's originally from Newfoundland. See, she's
Oh.
St. John.
Newfoundland.
She's a newfie.
She is. She's a Newfoundland.
Oh, that's awesome.
Does she prepare you traditional foods from her place of origin?
Yeah,
Like a
she
lot of
does.
fish
Mhm.
dishes
Cool.
or something?
Fish
I
and
would-
other things. Well, she also makes me some chicken stuff, but she's allergic to chicken now. She has a few allergies.
no.
Wow.
So
That's
So,
terrible.
I would guess, just being Newfoundland, that they have a fairly high, amount of fish in the diet, right?
yeah, they
I'm
have
just-
that.
Yeah, I mean, it only makes sense if you're an island,
Yeah, poutine. That's right. Hell
I
dear.
like
Yeah,
fish.
good call.
Oh, poutine's good shit, dude. I mean, I don't know who decided to put gravy and French fries together, but yeah, it's good stuff.
And
Alright.
cheese
Yeah,
curds. Don't
And
forget the
cheese
cheese
curds.
curds.
Yeah,
Shout out.
I never,
cheese
never
curds
heard
are
it called
amazing.
poutine.
But dude,
Yeah,
that
Neither, but
shit
it's still
will,
good,
you
isn't it,
will get
Rex?
fat in no time,
Oh
dude.
yeah,
You
Yeah,
add
but
that
do
to
you
your
know?
diet.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, Shadow, do you know that the McDonald's in Canada is the only ones that make the poutine as part of their daily menu? They don't do that in the States.
wow.
They
Well,
make it
you should.
here.
Yeah.
I had no idea you could get poutine
Wow.
at
Yeah,
McDonald's,
you
dude.
can get poutine on a McDonald's menu. Yes, you can. Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow.
That is.
All right.
I've
So I
had
don't
it.
hate Canada as much as I used to.
Yeah.
That's
How
I
good.
dear
never
says
hated them.
because he's up in Canada
Never
too. He
hated them.
says it
No, I
Yeah,
don't
I
hate
has
Canada.
to be
they're in
I
made
don't
with
hate
cheese.
Canada, dude.
area
We
right
used to
now.
go up there back before they changed the laws. I'm old enough that at 18, we could go hit the
Yeah.
border and go drink in Canada.
Yeah,
So
man, go across there. They didn't even stop you. It was like a free, free. When
You
I
can
was
go back and
young,
forth
dude, it
now.
was just
man,
like Mexico. You didn't have to have a passport. All you did was show them your driver's
yeah,
license, and you just
I
went
didn't even
on
have to do
through.
that.
Well,
I
that
just
was
drove
then.
across, Shadow. I
I've
had to
done
show
it.
everything when I left. Now,
I've
when I
done it for
leave,
parties on both borders, dude. I used to go to Mexico all the time. Fucking when I lived in Texas and living up here, once I hit 18, 19, we used to take at least 3-4 trips a year up to Canada.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh. Is that one of those
that
fourth
looks good.
cakes? Oh, those
Oh
are awesome.
man,
Those are
That's
beautiful.
a
Yeah,
flag
flag
cake.
cake. That's
I
awesome.
would eat
Flag.
that bad
Yeah,
boy
those are
up,
beautiful.
man.
Oh,
I
look
could
at that.
eat
Little
half that
blueberries for
one
the
sitting.
stars.
Yeah,
Oh
you got
yeah,
blueberries, strawberries inside the filling there. You
you
got
could
the
have
Uh,
you'd
frosting.
have a
Oh,
variety.
some
man.
kind of sponge cake.
Blueberry.
I'd eat that. Hell yeah.
That's
Oh,
probably like a Cool Whip,
Sadly,
real
all I have is the
fluffy
cupcake.
topping on there. Oh, mama.
you dog! I don't
Honey,
want to
wait,
hear about.
make some kind of dessert today. Let's think.
Mm.
You got anything?
I did have one year I had a decorative cheesecake like that. A strawberry cheesecake. Decorative
Ooh,
like
I
that.
love cheesecake. I could make myself sick real easy.
Oh, you could probably eat the whole thing, right?
I had that pot like he's got there, and it was cheesecake.
Yeah,
It'd
it's gone, man. It's
I'd be
gone.
miserable. Oh,
Oh man, all you'd have to do is give me
You gave
a
me that.
non-sugar drink and a couple slices of cheesecake, and I'm fine. Oh, Terminator
non-sugar
2.
drink.
Now create
We
your
only
own
drink the
Terminator with
real
the
thing.
BioFlesh Regenerator.
I'm back.
Oh, I
Yeah?
forgot about
Think
this
again.
one.
Battle
Oh, I remember.
damage.
Add flesh compound.
Terminator
Cool.
created.
Terminator.
I'm back.
Man, I'd like to have one of them.
Terminator.
That was
Yeah, that shit was cool.
1991, right? So that was like
Wow.
34 years ago. Yeah.
1991. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
man.
what I can't understand, Mikey, is I got stuff around here. And I said, this is all new stuff, but it's not. It's like
No,
30
this is
years
like
old.
older
And
stuff.
the
Yeah,
new
dude.
stuff is 30 years old. I'm going. And the old stuff, the stuff I consider Bronze Age now,
There it is.
you can't even find it.
34 years ago.
Look at that.
Terminator
Yeah, that's
2. I
crazy.
went to see that at
So-
the theater. Absolutely.
Time
I saw it.
flies.
Oh, are you kidding? After the first Terminator, I saw that Terminator 2 opening day. Yeah, I was there.
And
Oh, bro, I told you,
Terminator
I
is
grew
one
up
on our graduation year, 1984.
Right.
When you listen to the soundtrack, it is so dated. That soundtrack that they had with
I mean, that
With,
dun, 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 dun,
almost
dun,
like
dun,
a
dun, dun, dun.
well, no, I mean just like when they're in the Jeep and they're choo 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 choo, because it starts
Choo,
out with a
choo,
lot of
choo.
action.
When they start out, yeah.
Mhm.
But
He-
in that first Terminator,
Pale Rider. Happy 4th of July.
Well,
yeah,
And hey, guys, it's been an
Oh, no,
hour.
go ahead.
I'm gonna call it a
Good.
show. You guys have a great
Right.
weekend. Time for me to go spend some time with Mama.
okay.
Well, Shadow,
yeah.
peace
Oh,
out,
Shadow had to go. Oh, okay. Pale Rider, yeah,
Quality
couldn't
time
get
with the family.
quality time. I know. Everybody in our in the Mikey Sue's Ford community and everybody I know are pretty much occupied. But despite that, I mean, I've already done a couple of webcams or a couple live streams myself, just to give people a
Hey.
status on my friend, who's still in ICU, the one I told you about with his heart ventricle surgery he had. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's been that's the whole thing. Is in the one hand, I've got two, celebrations that I've gone through already now, on the 1st and on the 4th. But the only time I saw fireworks was on the 1st, our Canada Day. And then the 4th, I was trying to look out over Lake Ontario because we live near there. And I thought maybe on the other side of it, you would see some fireworks. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear a lot of anything going on. So,
Buddy,
Sounds weird.
around here, it was popping and cracking, and it was a party like the whole
That
city.
was your
'cause they-
joint.
what? I was
Don't
just
give me
saying,
that face, like Go
it's
ahead.
legal. It was legal here. It
Well,
wasn't
yeah.
before. So
Yeah,
the
it's
whole
amazing
city
that
was
they haven't
blowing
outlawed
up, man.
explosives like that. Really, fireworks.
yeah.
And they shouldn't. They absolutely shouldn't. July 3rd was a sad day in 1971. Jim Morrison died at age 27. That's too young to die.
Yeah. And then his girlfriend, Pamela Corson, died. What was it, a month later? The last
Was
girlfriend
it?
he
Now,
had?
she didn't report
Pamela
it for a
Corson?
couple of weeks, and there's speculation she wanted to make sure she legally inherited, from Jim before they even reported it. They buried him in France.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Which it was
Yeah,
his, wanted to do
Yeah,
that.
and then
anyway.
Then there was rumors that she was like, yeah, okay. She died 3 years later in 1974, April 25th. They said she died of a, overdose of drugs or something.
Huh. Big surprise there, huh?
She died in Los Angeles.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's.
but do you know she was born? Yeah, but did you know she was born in Pamela was born in Weed, California. I just found this out. And that was one of the towns that my parents and I and our family, we took one of our relatives from my mother's side back to visit us in Arizona when I was moved there. And we went through the town of Weed. It's very small, but I mean, it's dwarfed by Mount Shasta in the background. So,
Mhm.
it's, tiny little town. I had no idea she was from there.
I did not know this, but on July 4th, 1970, American Top 40, hosted by Casey Kasem, premiered 55 years ago.
Oh my gosh, you mean the American Top 40? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh, and you guys forgot. In 1985 was the premiere of Back to the Future. And that was
Gotta
40
get back in time.
Gotta get back to the
Here we go with the top 40 hits in the nation this week on American Top 40.
Wow, man, that intro music needed some help back then.
Oh, over the time, yeah, Frank.
1970.
Yeah.
He was like, what? But Casey Kasem, man, he did a lot of voice work. He was Robin in the Super Friends and Shaggy and so many different voices. And so loud. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting
Well,
that.
back in around this time in 1971, my parents had moved myself and my brother from Northern California. Like I said, we lived in San Francisco. We were born 2 years apart in the city. And then because I caught pneumonia when I was 3 years old, I almost died.
Wow.
My parents said that the weather there, the fog and the rain, all that stuff was detrimental to my health. So they recommended, and since my dad couldn't find any work, they recommended he come down to Arizona, work in construction, because his brother-in-law, who married his sister, my dad's sister, recommended we come down. So in the summer, right around this same time, in 1971, oh my God, that's 54 years ago. So around this time that I was listening to a radio station, And in Arizona, they called it KDKB, Rocks Arizona, in the early 70s. And they were playing, uh, Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, all this early stuff. And I was listening to this as I'm bawling my eyes out because I left my home. I left my hometown and had to move to Arizona. I was pissed. So, yeah.
Yeah,
That was
probably
in
best.
summer of
Probably
1971.
Best
Yeah.
for your health, bro.
Well, it was better for my health, but still, it didn't make any sense. I made
For sure.
friends, before I left. So,
Well, it didn't
Yeah.
make any sense, but if you'd, if you hadn't have made it, it
well,
would.
at the time, yeah, no, Elsie, you're right. It didn't make any sense for me at the time. But then again, I was only 5, so I was going to turn 6 that year, and I was just,
Brother,
I guess wasn't ready.
here's
And I was
me.
too young to remember that. So,
Back when I was 5, I lived in Peach Orchard, Missouri, man, out in the middle of nowhere.
really,
Hey,
wow.
Well,
wasn't worried about what you just scrapped and saved and you got from
Yeah.
the PX and the garden and lived on
Yes.
somebody's farm, and you just
Yeah.
as a kid though, that was perfect. I could walk for miles, man, and nobody'd even wonder where I was, back then.
Well,
Not
right.
today.
No, I mean, but people didn't realize. I mean, I get asked this every once in a while. It's like, what are food stamps? I said, well, you didn't want to know food stamps back in our day because my mom and dad were trying to raise 4 kids.
Yeah. That wasn't even considered. I didn't even know nothing about that.
Right.
I'm living out there. My dad's going to hitch a ride to go to school and go to work, and I'm living on a farm, laying out in a strawberry patch eating. I'm
Strawberry
5
patch.
years old. I'm 5 years old, Mikey. I can walk 3 miles without no supervision or nothing. Then at nighttime, when it get dark, Leroy, the people that live behind me, he'd show up, and me and my brother, he'd say, "Come on, boys, it's supper time." We just follow him home every day.
Eva, happy birthday yesterday to Eva Marie Saint, the actress, 101 years old.
Wow.
Oh my
bless
gosh,
her
she's still
heart.
breathing. Oh my
Bless her
wow,
heart.
Eva Marie Saint. Yes, I remember
Yeah.
her well.
There she
101. Wow,
is.
101.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Born in 1924.
nice. Have
Yeah.
you guys seen the first trailer, the teaser trailer for Spaceballs 2? A 98-year-old Mel Brooks is in there
Wow.
promoting it.
Yeah.
And in 2 more years, when it comes out in 2027,
He
he'll
just
be
had a
exactly
birthday.
100
He's
years old.
99 now. He's
Yeah,
99.
so he'll be 101 when it comes out in 2027.
Wow. Well, he's
And
going
he
to have to
still
hold
wants to
on.
play that. And Rex, he wants to still play that role of yogurt. I'm like, well, it's going to fit you. Will that costume still fit him, even at 101 years old?
Probably.
If he makes
Probably.
it
Might
that
be a
far?
little big.
You probably
but
have to
it'll
wrap it
probably fit him.
around,
Yeah. But I'm glad, but they said they were bringing back at least 3 main characters. They're bringing back Bill Pullman, who played Lone Star. They're bringing back Daphne Zuniga, who played Princess Vespa. And they're bringing back Rick Moranis, who played Dark Helmet. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Rick Moranis is, he took off from acting to support his family.
That's right, he did. He stepped away from Hollywood for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. He was.
Then wasn't he the one, Rex? Wasn't he the one that got mugged on that New York street too?
He was, yeah, fairly recently.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah, poor Rick.
He was a great actor, man.
Oh yeah.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was my
Yep.
favorite, brother. When I was growing up, and the kids.
And he was
in
on
it?
Fridays is when I first
Yeah.
saw him. Doug and Bob and Doug McKenzie, my
Oh,
favorite
yeah.
Canadians. Sorry, Mikey.
Yeah.
Besides you,
I understand. We own
Yeah.
Strange Brew. We
That
own
was
it. Yeah. And in fact, Suzanne was telling me that when she first moved here in Toronto area, was back in 1999, she had been by where they filmed the factory in the movie. Yeah, Strange Brew. So, yeah. Weird.
This was the cartoon we didn't get, but yeah, we did get a cartoon, the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
Dungeons and Dragons? Yeah, I thought we did.
Yeah, we did.
That's the
We just
yeah.
didn't get the live version.
yeah. Yeah, we never got the live version. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a poster with a cool dragon, a Dungeon and Dragons. Got a really cool dragon on it.
I think my favorite dragon was Dragonheart, was where the dragon was voiced by Sir Sean Connery. That's my favorite dragon movie. That and Willow. I like Willow too, but
Mikey,
dog
would
just
you
got a
like to
haircut
see
now. It looks like he gave up
sculpture of
drinking.
my dragon? I did
Yeah.
a little sculpture of one.
nice.
It's just
That's the
hand
sculpture?
done.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
It's pottery.
Yeah. Yeah, my
Yes.
second
Had a good time with it.
yeah, my second favorite one obviously is Smaug from Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, of
The
course.
Hobbit.
I mean, how could you not?
Yeah.
You know. That,
Yeah,
I mean,
Smaug for sure. And that was
Pretty
voiced
awesome.
by Benedict Cumberbatch. I was like, oh, really? Oh, damn. Nice. Yeah. And some people, speaking of Star Trek, some people, I remember the Star Trek Into Darkness, and where Benedict Cumberbatch was playing like a younger version of Khan, from like the Wrath of Khan. It was played by
You got to say it right.
Ricardo.
I never could.
Pencils
Ricardo
down.
Montalban.
Lead idol.
The plane. The plane. Yes, this is.
Oh, you mean Hervé?
This
Yeah,
is
military.
Justin Belmont's latest campaign. You can go sign up
Nice.
for it. I just link for it. I haven't even signed up for it yet. Pencils down.
cool.
Lead idol. Yeah.
Lead idol.
Fulfillment for the first Pencil down will begin later this month. So pretty cool. Go
Is that one of those
Do
pencil?
you get a sculpt? Do you get one of them sculptures with a pen to put your pencil in?
Let's see, a secret tier forged in gold. Sign up now and to unlock the secret tier and secure your executive gold lead idol collectible from Belmont Press. This rare piece is only available to insiders, so it'll look like this.
Cool.
It'll be gold.
Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, that looks cool. Carrie, am I too loud? I'm sorry if I am. She said so loud. Yikes! I hope that's not me.
No, that was
Sorry.
me when I played that one thing. I had my volume too loud.
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah, that 70s Casey Kasem thing.
Yeah, the 70s, right? Yeah.
1970 Casey Kasem thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go sign up for Justin's just revealed today or yesterday, actually, 4th of July. Sorry about that. So many things happening in crowdfunding nowadays, So it's hard to keep up with what's being done when. So many launches and closings and different things.
Okay. Carrie said, "Was the video Rex played? Your accent is a delight, Mikey." Thank you. I don't have a Canadian accent yet.
You have a Mikey accent. That's what she likes.
She likes the Mikey accent. Okay. Well, like I said, I come from California, so I had, I used to have that surfer dude type of, one of those California boys that, they love the beach and they love to surf and they love to do all that stuff. And then I got away from that when I moved to Arizona. So then it was because of the dry heat, I was more into going into oh God, this is terrible. This heat is I feel like an oven. But I lived there for over 40 years of my life. So I guess I can't complain. Yeah. So, yeah. But thank you, Carrie. Thank you. I didn't know I had an accent. Yeah.
I guess we all got our own environment.
I just want to know how he not sounding like Bob and Doug McKenzie, eh?
Oh,
there we go.
I could have done it higher, but I lost my high voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been singing. I told you that, I think, before, Rex. I've been singing since 1996. So, actually, Yeah, next year will be 30 years I've been singing. I started June 1st of 1996 as a singer. It was my kind of like my hidden second career. I've been doing that ever since. So, yeah, June
Really?
1st of next year will be 30 years. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Huh.
Carrie says she's in the UK, so you have an
Yeah.
accent to me. Oh, well, sweet. Yeah, we have a friend named Lisa, and Lisa is a videographer, and she lives in Suffolk, there in the UK, with her father. And she gets around, she takes photos and videos, and she has a website on YouTube. It's called Travel with Lisa MH, like Mikey Harry. And her second home is Toronto, where we live here, me and Suzanne. We already met her a
Cool.
couple times in person. Yeah, she's really nice person. And she's going to come out in September, stay for like 4 months. She has a boyfriend, and everything, but, she's going to hang. So I was like, okay. Well, my 60th birthday's coming up. I said, I can't think of anything better than staying with, myself, my beautiful wife, and two of our best friends. Because Suzanne has a best friend here in Toronto. So, yeah, that'd be great. I'm trying to get my brother up there, too, the one that just had his heart surgery. I said, dude, just relax for 3 months, recover, don't do anything, just rest, and then come up and join us up here. So, yeah. Because he's never been to Canada, He's been around. I mean, his name is Larry, and I've known him for 50 years next year. Will be 50 years, and as a good friend. And but he's never been to Canada. And I said, well, it's time. You need to come up here and visit. So, yeah,
It's
should be
time.
fun.
Sign up.
Yeah, sign up for that stuff.
I can't wait to get pencils down. That I did back that one.
Oh, cool.
Because it features Devil Flyer in it.
Oh,
I
the
had to
Power
have it.
Rangers. Oh,
Power
nice.
Rangers, Happy Meal, yeah.
And they're 30 years old. Look at that, July 1995.
I know. Elsie
Yes,
gave
it
me a whole long box of, not comics, but just Happy Meal premiums that from just all kinds of stuff over the years. They picked up where Cracker Jack kind of fizzled out at, prizes in every box of Cracker Jack. Cracker Jack's one of those treats that goes back to like 1870s, man.
It's like
Amazing.
when you got kids, you're going to accumulate some Happy Meal toys.
Yeah.
Trust.
Yeah, I guess
Back
that's
in
true.
The
Yeah.
90s, back in the 90s, and you're not
Mhm.
kidding.
Yeah.
We were able
Every
to.
day.
Yeah. Well, you remember when McDonald's first started their Happy Meals, right? It was like in the 60s, 70s, something like that. And all of 4 kids, we really loved Happy Meals. And every once in a while, my parents were able to afford to get us a Happy Meal or two. And we always took the toys and stuff from that.
I never got a Happy Meal.
Oh, happy 75th birthday, Huey Lewis. Yes. Yeah, I did see those guys live in concert once.
Did you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I was 3 rows back of the stage. It was during the Arizona State Fair, which was way over in over on close to the west side of Phoenix at the time. It was in this big place they called the Madhouse on McDowell. It's a huge arena, and they did a 3-set show, and that was the only one they did that night that I went to see them, because they had encores at least 2 other times after that. And then somebody else went to the show after me, and they said they only played their one big set, and that was it. They didn't do encores. I said, no, that's because they did the encores for us. So,
They were already wore out.
yes. And I owned a couple of their albums. I owned Sports and some of the other stuff. Oh, Don Stark. Oh, yeah. He was from that 70s show. Yeah. He played the next door neighbor from the guy who just recently passed away, Kurtwood Smith. Yeah. The guy who kept calling people dumbass.
And you know, his makeup jobs there, he was on Star Trek.
That's true. Don Stark, yeah.
Yeah.
He's still alive, right?
He played Nicky the Nose in Star Trek First Contact.
First Contact, yeah.
Uh,
Right. That was him under that makeup? That's pretty cool.
mhm.
Nicky the Nose.
Nicky the Nose.
Yeah, that was Melora. That was Star Trek Deep Space Nine that he played that on that character.
Oh, yeah, okay. He played that role. Okay. Because I remember in First Contact, the board that went in there and, they scanned the holographic Maitre D played by Ethan Phillips, who was Neelix in Voyager. And then then he purposefully turned out the safety protocols in the hologram. In the holograph.
Oh yeah,
hologram.
Gromit from as Woody from Toy Story, and Feathers
Nice.
McGraw as Darth Vader statues are currently on display in England, made in cooperation with Pixar and Lucasfilms. Check
Nice.
this out. Yeah, I love some Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, let's check those out.
You
I
can
missed Wallace and Gromit.
you can look it up. There you might go see those, Carrie, in the UK.
Yeah.
Luke, I am your father.
I am your caca
That's cool.
father. Can you imagine? You go, I am your caca father.
I am your caca.
And did you read this, Elsie? Carrie said that hearing Elsie makes me think of Forrest Gump.
Well, thank
One
you
of his
very
favorite
much.
movies, by the way.
Yeah. I was watching some scenes from it the other day. The guy he was with that played Bubba Blue, and with the shrimp boat and everything.
Oh yeah,
Captain Dan. Yeah. Captain Dan. Willem Dafoe.
Captain Dan, you got legs. I know.
To celebrate the anniversary of it, it came from beneath the sea, which is Ray Harryhausen. Here's
Yes.
films starring Creature as it is now. This classic was released 70 years ago. Sadly, none of these creatures' 6 tentacles remain as part of this model. They proved far too useful and were cannibalized for later models. The body, however, has aged relatively well. And I'll show that. Just the top half of the octopi
Oh,
left.
yes, I remember that. Yes.
Wow.
Mhm.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Yeah.
sculpt the tentacles and you needed them in another movie, why not?
Yeah. One of my favorite Harryhausens is Jason and the Golden Fleece.
Well, just
when
the
he
other
gets
day
hit,
was, I think yesterday or the day before was the anniversary of his last film, Clash of the Titans.
Clash of
Voyages,
Titans, yes.
Seven Voyages, Sinbad was my favorite.
Those were good, yeah. But I did like in Clash of the Titans, I think it was the Kraken was my favorite.
Hey, I like the
Released-
remakes. We were talking about the other day. I like the remakes to those both those movies.
Yeah, well, when you see Liam Neeson saying "release the Kraken"
Yeah.
in the
I
remake,
mean, he played
pretty
Zeus. I
clever.
know.
Yeah, he played Zeus. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I did. I liked him as
It was
Zeus.
a good movie. Real good
See,
movie.
but one thing I'm disappointed is coming out in August. They're doing a remake of Naked Gun. Liam Neeson is going to be playing Frank Drebin, and his female cohort in it is going to be played by none other than Pamela Soon Anderson.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not comfortable with that. I'm sorry. I'm used to knowing that
They
Leslie
don't care.
Nielsen
Hey,
was
Mikey, they don't care, Mikey. They
I
gonna
know.
draw some
I know.
funds off that.
Yesterday was the 57th release of one of my favorite movies, Once Upon a Time in the Old West. 57 years ago. What a classic.
Was that the one with Charles Bronson?
With Charles Bronson and the harmonica. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched that a couple times. And
Oh, yeah,
Henry
when he's got
Fonda
all those
as the
people.
bad guy. He made a great bad guy.
Yeah.
He
It was
did.
great.
And
It
he
was
I agree.
great.
requested, he had never worked with Leone before. He requested that he do the role as a villain, and all his Hollywood buddies said, do it. I don't care. Do it. You'll have fun. It's if he asks you to do something, do it. And he one of the greatest
did it.
villainous roles of all time. He shot children. First on-screen appearance, he shoots his child,
Right.
2 children, really younger,
Yeah. Right.
boy, but one of the greatest entries of all time with Charles Bronson, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Today
was
is
classic.
today is the start of the Tour de France. There for 2025 is today, Tour de France. Yeah. So that starts today. And we all knew about Lance Armstrong, what he did. Badass, bad man.
Jason
Bad
Bascom, that
biker.
was in the
Bad
chat
biker.
earlier, and he may
Yeah.
still be in the chat. He says the Frog G trilogy is amping up to be one of the greatest fables in all of human existence. Don't miss out. Inkspot says some color work in progress on Frog G2 by Jason and co-creator by Frog G. Sign up here for the Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah.
I'll show you the artwork. It's very cool.
Well, oh, cool.
Drawn by Jason and colored by Ink Spots. He was on the Hump Day show, and so was Jason this week. So
Nice. Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I like catching up on those Hump Day shows you do every Wednesday.
Yeah, we got some great draw streams.
That's awesome.
For that.
Yeah, we just saw the third movie in the 28 Days trilogy, 28 years later, with Ray Fine has a appearance in it. Oh, I would say don't go see it. The only reason I say that is because the zombies themselves are all completely full frontal, nude, both men and women, and they're running around the Scottish Highlands, and the whole movie as itself, it was directed, by Danny Boyle, and
Dark.
Yeah, it's very dark. Yeah, I wouldn't
Don't need
recommend
no
it.
darkness.
No,
I
wouldn't
gotta go
recommend
get my
Darkness,
drink.
my old friend.
Be right back.
Do we remember Simon and Garfunkel singing that? that has to have its own.
Well,
ending.
yeah, I mean, there's certain songs that stick out to me, over time. I don't know. I can't pass it up,
Oh, thank you, Carrie. Yeah, Mykelti Williamson, who played Bubba Blue in Forrest Gump, is 68 years old now. He was in Free Willy movies, right? And Final Destination 4. Yes, that's right. He is. He was in 4. Yeah. Yeah, we just saw Final Destination Bloodlines. I told you that, right, Rex? The last movie that Tony Todd did. That was very well done. And it completes the entire circle. So if you get the 6th one when it comes out on DVD, if you own all 6 Final Destination, that's all you need. Just those 6. Yeah.
I'm not really excited about anything that's coming out in Hollywood nowadays. I mean, if it gets good reviews, I might go see something. But the last 2 movies I watched was on Jesus Christ and the Last Supper, The Chosen 1 and 2. And 3 came out, but I missed 3, so so I've got the last 3 episodes, but that's okay. I'll catch up.
Yeah. A friend and I, Gorilla, who's our friend Gorilla's Random Thoughts, and I, we were watching this Christian-based. It came through Angel Studios, which is out of Provo, Utah, and they called it Homestead, and we watched like the first few episodes of that, and I got used to it. I think I really liked it, but one of our other friends didn't like it, so I was like, well, Gorilla, if you're if you're gonna bring out Homestead again, I'm definitely there with you to see it because I thought it was good. I thought it was decent. I've seen the movies, Left Behind, and then the movie after that, with
Mhm.
Nicolas Cage. Yeah, I've seen those. So,
Well,
and
what's
we
going
own
to
them.
happen to movies though? They took a big hit during the pandemic.
They
People
did.
just
But some of them,
aren't.
yeah.
Huh?
No, I was gonna say that one of them, like I said, just mentioned, the Toxic Avenger, should have came out 2 years ago, but because of that pandemic,
Yeah.
it's now coming. Now it's premiering, like it's coming out. Like I said, August 27th is when it's coming out. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's got Kevin Bacon as a criminal, or as the guy who goes after the Toxic Avenger, and like I said, played by Peter Dinklage of Game of Thrones fame, and then you've got Elijah Wood who's in there, and I think he's reprising a sniper role that he had in what was that one with Frank Miller, Sin City. Yeah, so Elijah Wood's being a sniper again. Mysterious
Today,
guy.
Alien began filming on this day in 1978. It's a master class in tension, atmosphere, and design. And over 40 years later, it's still one of the greatest films ever made. I think
I
so
love
too.
Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And John Hurt with the that dinner scene, and he all of a sudden, and then it explodes out of his stomach. Classic.
oh yeah,
Just
and
great horror.
he's speaking of Doctor Who earlier. He's the War Doctor.
Yeah. Hey, he's the War Doctor. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, so many people have taken that movie, Mikey, Alien, where you're confined in space and you can't go anywhere, and it's kind of like a maze and chase around, and they've taken that and just done and redone that.
Yeah, but still, so one of the most famous lines that they had on the poster was, "No one can hear you scream."
Yeah, in space, no one can hear you scream. Yep.
In space. Yeah. Great. That was what was the director's name of that again?
Carpenter.
No, Carpenter didn't do Alien. It was Ridley Scott. It was Ridley Scott.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Ridley Scott. Sadly I missed this one. Hot Wheels Dinosaur Mud Pit. So I guess you could go mudding.
One of those. Yeah, well, like I said, I did own a few Hot Wheels, but I never owned kits like that. I guess you just call them a kit, or like a build up set, like a set, so you could build them up. I never owned that.
To me, that would be the ultimate to go see. I sprayed a complex, and they actually have had those mudding events, with the truck.
Welcome back, Gelsey.
I would love to go see one of those on the 4th of July sometime. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Spawn wants you to have a happy Independence Day. Well, it's not Independence Day anymore, but still, that never gets up.
Yeah, but I did used to watch the Spawn. I used to watch Spawn on HBO.
HBO,
yeah. There was that.
I have that on disc, and I recently rewatched it. And Sam Keith.
Oh, you did? Oh, cool.
Is it Sam Keith that did the voice?
Am
I getting the name right?
Sam Keith.
Well, I know it was Jai Courtney who played Spawn in the live action.
See, Mikey doesn't roll with me. He's got so much noise. I mean, so much not noise. He's got so much knowledge. There we go. Not noise, knowledge. Anyway, Sam Keith is going to be on get a star on the Walk of Fame. We reported on that yesterday.
Oh, good, very good. Yeah.
Wasn't Buffy and he was the butler way back, long time ago, in that black and white.
All right.
Oh, I never watched Buffy. I never watched Buffy.
It wasn't Buffy. I'm not talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
No, not that.
I'm talking about the butler it was Keith was the guy's last name or some part of his name, and he was a
Right.
butler, and these two little kids, he took care of them, and he dealt.
You're
with
talking
them.
about Brian Keith?
Yeah, that's who I'm.
Oh, that's a
thinking of.
different.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a different series.
Yeah,
Brian Keith.
Well, I just heard that, and that's what I thought of that.
Oh
Go
no,
back
no,
to-
this was a different. This was a voiceover artist who had the
Okay,
same
gotcha.
last name of Keith. Yeah,
bad.
yeah, he did the original voice in the Todd McFarlane animated Spawn series. But what I really liked was when they did the live action, John Leguizamo was the clown. Oh my god, it was perfect casting. It was because that's John Leguizamo is great, and I don't think they give him enough credit. I don't, he's a
No,
wonderful Latin
'cause I
actor,
don't even
and
know who he is. I've never even heard of him.
okay, well, if you remember,
Be honest.
Elsie, did you ever get
I'm
to
just
see?
being honest with you, Mikey.
Oh yeah, no
You know.
worries. But did you ever get to see the first John Wick? He's in the first John Wick
Oh yeah, that
with
was awesome.
Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today
He plays
is
the
Carolyn
villain.
Monroe's birthday.
Ooh, you're feeling
Ooh,
Yeah.
Where was
Hey,
that at? What
who
movie
is
was
she? She's
Yeah.
Xena.
No, she's not Xena. That was her in Star Crash, sort of a Star Wars ripoff.
Oh, StarCraft. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and she was a Bond girl, and she was a Hammer girl from Hammer horror
Mm.
films.
Wait,
Yeah,
now
I
you
swear
said
I
she's a
saw
Bond
her.
girl. Do you remember which Bond film she was in?
She was blown up in that helicopter. I think it was.
Oh God, Spy Who Loved Me. Yes, of course.
Yeah, Spy Who
That was
Loved Me.
her.
Yeah,
We have an
blew her up.
uninvited
Blew her up
guest.
real good. Oh, I was resulting.
There was even
Hey,
that line.
Rex.
Was in that line. He's with Barbara Bach, right? He plays the Amasova, right? The Russian
Mhm.
equivalent of him. And so they're standing there. She comes up in this really, one piece like a dress thing, and she walks because she was taking them over to go see Stromberg for the first time, and
Mhm.
as she's turning and walking back, Bond, Roger Moore says, "Such nice curves."
Yeah.
Like I love her
I
lines.
still like the
Such
little
nice
Oriental girl, and she says, "Hi, I'm Plenty," and he says, "I bet you are." Pussy Galore. I always thought those names really pushed the envelope of the '60s. I know we were kind of.
They did.
I mean, it's amazing
Well,
the
my
censors
dad
didn't
wasn't
clamp.
surprised.
I'm amazing the censors didn't clamp down on that and say that's inappropriate.
Yeah, Goldfinger was, believe it or not, Goldfinger was the very first Bond film I was familiar with as a kid. Because my dad took our family to go see it for the first. Well, not. It came out in '64, so I know I wasn't born yet. But a couple years later, I think it came out in theaters.
He
They were bringing them
watched
back out
it in
to the
utero.
I was intimidated by Honor Blackman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was intimidated, but it was like, but hearing that, I actually asked my dad what pussy meant. My dad said, "Just pay attention to the movie. Don't say anything."
Today, Louise Reed. Let's see. I want to get this right. Reard. I don't know. Reard. However you say that.
Reard. Reard.
Reard. Louise Reard introduced a minimalist two-piece swimsuit in 1946 on this date,
Wow.
July 5th, 1946, modeled by Michelle Bernardi in Paris, France. The new fashion
Against
was
the
named
law.
Bikini after the Bikini Atoll, where the test of a nuclear bomb had taken place 4 days earlier. So that's how
wow.
the bikini got its
And
name
that's how the bikini got started. Nice.
in 1946. Yeah.
1946. So that means the bikini is 79
Hey,
years
Timothy.
old. Wow. Hey,
Hey,
Timothy
hey,
Olsen.
Hey Rex.
How you doing?
Hey,
Yes.
Timothy, I'd like to show Carrie something. What it was? Not immediately. I want to explain that I found some handkerchiefs of my dad's, and I thought about family people, and I said, well, I can do something with them, and I drew this handkerchief.
Oh, beautiful. That's nice.
I whipped them out. I'm gonna do one for my nephews. One's a missionary, one's a pastor. Got my
And that was
brother,
your
my
father's
sister.
one of his handkerchiefs, right?
Yeah,
Now,
I
just a suggestion: give one to
Yeah.
your brother. I think he would, and frame it. He would appreciate it,
well, that's what I'm
especially
talking
right
about.
now.
Put it in
'Cause his
like a
wife just
shadow
passed
box,
Yeah.
and kind of pin it down.
away. Yeah.
You know,
He would appreciate
Yeah.
that from you, I think.
Yeah.
And he needs
And Elsie,
encouragement
If you-
right now.
if you
Yeah.
presented it right,
and Elsie, I see there in your background on the wall. That's the Heath Ledger, right,
yes,
from Dark Knight.
This standy, it's the full standy. Hadn't even been opened, man.
Wow.
It's 6 foot tall.
Justin
Nice.
Belmont says, I got to meet Rob Schneider today at the Fan Expo Denver. I told him my favorite film that he was in was The Animal, and he said, there's going to be a sequel. So a sequel to The Animal coming.
Nice. I met Rob Schneider in a bar. He was doing stand up in Tempe, Arizona. I was with
Thunder,
my first,
lightning.
yeah. I was with my
Right.
first ex at the time, and he came to he used to do the copies. Remember on Saturday
I'm
Night
gonna go see
Live?
if
He
my
was
dog will go out.
oh
I'll be
okay,
right back because
all right, Elsie.
got to do something.
So yeah. So anyway, Rob Schneider. So long story short, Catherine. Oh, the mathematician. That's right. One of the African American ones. Wow, 101. Yeah. Yeah, she passed away 5 years ago.
101. Wow.
Yeah, 101. Yeah. Yeah. So Rob Schneider came by after his stage or after his set. He came by and visited with me and afterwards. And I said, my name's Mikey, but I'm Michael. He says, no, I like Mikey better. I said, all right, Rob. I said, well, could you do for me your making copies? And so, he would do Mikey Rama, the Mike Meister, Mr. Mikey, Mikey Sir Man, Sir Mikey Man, and all this stuff. And I just thought it was hilarious. It's just like, it was such a pleasure to meet him, and I did manage to get a photo with him. So, yeah, what a wonderful man. Yeah, Rob Schneider was great. So I'm glad you got to meet him. Yeah, he's very humble. He remembers his roots. I think my favorite thing he did was Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. I think that was my funniest movie I remember from him. Yeah,
It's the weekend. Time to party like it's 1984.
wow.
Not 1999.
Yeah, Autobots, Transformers.
1999 Y02K. That never happened.
Right.
You know?
Did that
You
ever
remember
happen
that?
for you, Rex? Where were you when Y2K hit?
I was working at a rescue mission in Paragould, about 45 minutes out of town. I was like
Wow.
the chaplain resident manager there, and actually
Yeah.
watching on VHS a film that was from the early 60s with everybody.
Wow.
So when it hit over to New Millennial, I know exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, I remember I was celebrating with friends. Yeah, January 1st. Okay, December 31st, 1999. I was with friends, and I remember somebody singing, and I know it wasn't me, but I think somebody sang the Prince song, 1999. I remember that. And then at midnight, we all celebrated. The next day, there was, I was working, I was working in a building which had some computers and stuff. And I remember there was a minor issue because some people said it would go back to 00 and reset
Yeah.
itself. And I just
Mhm.
remember there was an issue with the lights. The lights in our building went down. So I was like, okay. It didn't last long. It was just a minor glitch, but some people said there was like glitches with airplanes and airplane schedules and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, but it wasn't a major thing, and I was living in Arizona at the time, so yeah, I had just moved back from Oklahoma, so I got out of Oklahoma. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't, it was a lot of hubbub about nothing, really.
yeah, it wasn't a big major thing.
Yeah.
I think what was
I-
more major was the following year in 2001 with the 9/11 thing. I knew exactly where I was for that.
Oh, I do
That
too.
was
I was
cool.
actually in federal court at the time trying to get my middle daughter taken off child support. And
Oh
the
wow!
news, I had a friend that I used to work with, my first job out of Poncho's restaurant, not really authentic Mexican food, but it was a Mexican place right out of high school. Worked at Poncho's here in Jonesboro,
Yeah,
and he was a cook, and I started out as a best boy and ended up as a cook. Um, anyway, he kept coming in and out, and he said, "Oh, have you heard the latest? You know, a plane
yeah.
crashed in Pennsylvania." And he would
And all
tell me
that.
that
And
when first before we took off to court, I turned the TV on. Normally, wouldn't have been up that early, and Mom was still getting ready. Where she drove down there with me, and because I had to go out of the county, the venue was in another county, and
yeah,
the first plane had already hit. And I was like watching this news footage because it was on everywhere, right? And then
right.
while she was still getting ready, the second plane hit, and I was like, wow, you know,
Yeah, I mean, both
that
of
really
one.
was our. No matter if you think it was done on purpose or
Whatever
whatever,
happened.
you know, as a just pure terrorism. Um,
Yeah,
you know, because there are some, I can't say uncredible theories out there about why all that happened.
yeah.
But anyway,
Well,
uh, that really was our Pearl Harbor
that really was. Yeah, I
for our
remember.
generation.
I was working. I was back in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I was working. It was only my second training day, and I was going to be working for Advanced PCS, which is kind of a medical, company. And all of a sudden, somebody said something's going on in New York City
Mhm.
at the Twin Towers. They brought the big TV in, and in our class, we had these three different women. And when the first tower went down, one went into major hysterics and ran out of the room. The second one just broke down, completely lost it in crying. But she said, I just lost my friends. And then there was
Wow.
like the third one, she said, I can't stay here anymore. And, and then we watched the second one go down. I think it was after we saw the second one go down that our supervisor said, okay, everybody gets to go home. Just go home. Yeah.
Well, I
Just,
remember I got sent home from that job when one of the shuttlecraft blew up. I was cashing my check across the street at a bank, and they had it on the TV, and I watched it, you know, after I got my check cashed and a little bit of
right.
it, and then boom, you know, it blew up, and I was like, couldn't stop talking about it. So they sent me home. I was a busboy at that
Well,
time.
and the thing I feel bad is my brother, Philip, who's 2 years younger than me. His birthday is September 11th. He was born September 11th, 1967. So ever since that incident happened, and he's a teacher, right? He's an educator. So whenever that happened, the class people, the kids would always say to him, Philip. I won't say his full last name, but they would
Mhm.
say, Mr. Philip. Weren't you born when the incident happened? And he says, well, yeah, I was born before that, but yeah, now I'm only remembered by my future students I teach by that
Mm.
day, by that terrible day in 2001,
Elsie,
which is
can
my
you
birthday,
remember where
by the
you
way.
were at 2021? Because we're coming up on a big anniversary, you know.
We're coming
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
I was teaching a high school class at Jackson Central Mary, and we were all in class, and they said, "Look, they got because we had Channel One, there were TVs in every class."
Uh-huh.
and they put it on. Look, a plane crashed into
Man.
one of the twin towers, and we were all sitting there watching it. And then all of a sudden, another one hits it,
Mhm.
and teachers started running. We're getting attacked by the Palestinians.
At that moment,
They're
I said,
all
that
They're
was-
Iranians.
Yeah, when the second one hit, my mind immediately said, "This is terrorism." You know.
And
then when
I
the
was
one, yeah,
just, wow.
and then the one that hit the Pentagon, I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
definitely
This
is
being
true
attacked
attack.
now.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was in court all day long. My friend said, "Yeah, one just hit the Pentagon." I was like, "Oh, really?" And then later he came back because he was in and out. I guess he was waiting on his court, to happen or whatever he was doing. And
He's going to watch
he
it.
said a plane just went down, in
Pennsylvania,
So
in a Pennsylvania field, right? That one was set in, yeah. that
not to
one
give
was
the
set for the White
terrorists any
House.
ideals, but I thought, as paralyzed and as fearful as America was, and we were on 9/11, if they would have just went to like even a small town and lobbed a grenade under a car and blew it up, and your mind would have said there's going to be additional attacks in this week, if they had followed up, but they never did. I think the terror would have the stock market went, after that.
We found out afterwards. Well, the one like you said that crashed in that Pennsylvania field was headed for the White House. That was the one that was going to go kill, whoever was in charge at the time, Bush League or whoever he was. I don't like George Bush.
Tried
Tried
would
to.
have got there.
They wouldn't,
wouldn't
but
have
yeah, but I do have the movie United 93, which is based on that.
I've never
Natural
seen that.
Passengers,
Might
right?
watch it.
I love that movie. I do. It's great.
I do
documentary.
remember it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
today in history, also July 5th, 1994, Jeff Bezos formed Amazon. Initially called what is
Wow.
it? Cabada? What was it?
How's it spelled?
Cadabra Incorporated. There we go.
Cadabra.
Without the Abra. Yeah.
Okay, that's his first.
So
Jeff
that
Bezos.
changed the world.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey
Yeah.
Rex, what year did the Emergency Heroes Pez come out?
When did that come out?
That came out like shortly after 9/11. Yeah.
'Cause I
Just
got a
after-
box-
Yeah, they had
I got a box up there that has Emergency Heroes. Got the head of the little box, and it's got every one of those. That
Yeah,
they
it's
put
got
in
a
bags.
firefighter, construction worker,
Nurse, policeman,
a
on
frogman.
scuba dive.
It's got
Yeah.
a diver, which was one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
I mean, and they're the original. They're the first ones that
Right.
came
They
out,
have reissued and retooled them, where they look a
Yeah.
little bit more cartoon.
And I was just reading over Timothy Olson, if you may, Rex. He said I had just gone on a break working at Safeway. Yeah, I used to work for Safeway too, Timothy, down there in Scottsdale for 13 years. That was a lot of fun. In Belfair, he was in Scottsdale, Arizona. He was
That's
in
pretty close to
Timothy was in
Robert.
Belfair, Washington State. He said he had only been out of school a few years, and he said the year our false sense of security was shattered. But he says, "Wait, it's July. it's a good 2 months till September." Yes, it is, sir. He says, even though it was a dark day, just like Pearl Harbor, he says we have pulled together and moved forward like those who died in that day would want us to. Yes, and I've been to the USS Arizona Memorial. My folks took me. I'm very
I'll be
sorry.
honest with you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Elsie. What were you saying?
Go ahead, Elsie.
I was just going to talking. Timothy's talking about that false sense of security. I never had a false sense of security. I never was insecure, scared. I wasn't going to live that way. God didn't give me a spirit of fear. I was ready to battle if I had to.
Well,
that's America, man.
Well, that night.
Granted, we get attacked, but it's doesn't make us scared.
Yeah. Well,
it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
It should.
Well,
we were. It was almost like during the pandemic when we turned off the U.S. economy because we were paralyzed with fear. It was palatable at that time. You could feel it in the air with all the reporting and everything. Of course, the recording, the news is going to go, whoa, we've been attacked.
Well, you know what they said that they had regarding the pandemic. They said that things were happening like even in late 2019, right? And we didn't know. I mean, we didn't know what things were happening. But both my wife and I, within successive months, January and February, we caught the virus. We had it for 3 weeks, each of us. And we had no idea, right? And then March 2020 came. Yeah, March 2020 came, and that's when they first, I guess, really announced it. And then my wife and I realized, we just went through it. We just had it.
Wow. So, did you get it a second time or any?
No. Since we've been taking the, the required, what they say required,
jab,
shots and stuff. Yeah, no, we haven't had a problem. I mean, once in a great while we get a flu or something, but it only lasts like a couple days,
July 5th, 1996, Dolly the sheep became the first mammal successfully cloned as an adult cell.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So it's Dolly's birthday. Yeah.
So
cloning.
Next year will be 30. Yeah. Next year she'll be 30. Wow.
I think she's passed away now. She's passed away now, but that's
no, she's gone, but she would have been 30 if she had lived. Yeah. Next year. Yeah, I remember. I'll just mention one last quick thing about 9/11, but I remember that my favorite singer is Sting from the Police. That's my favorite band. And I remember Sting was going to do a concert that night, just for close friends, in his house there outside of Tuscany in Italy. And they had just found out that
would have been awesome.
When Sting went solo, his keyboardist, Kenny Kirkland, was one of those guys that died in the towers that day. And they were all in mourning, right? Obviously, they were all upset. And he asked his bandmates there at the time, he said, hey, it's up to you guys. I mean, we can cancel this thing, we don't have to do it, whatever. But Sting was so brave that, he said, yeah, let's do it. And I remember his whole concert from there that night was on PBS because I watched it from my PBS station at home. And it was free. It was being shown worldwide. And I just remember that. And for me, that actually reassured me that we're all right, that we're going to recover from this.
So remember, today's significance, National Bikini Day.
Yes. Yeah. The bikini was
all right,
found
Mikey, I got a hard question for you, and it's not really that hard.
Yeah.
You better get it straight, okay?
Yeah,
Who's the best cat woman?
Oh, no question, Eartha Kitt.
Okay, he's gone.
Oh, come on. Eartha Kitt was great.
She
was great.
Yeah.
I
like the long leggy one. I'm sorry.
All right, let's give credit where credit's due. Julie Newmar did a wonderful job throughout.
Julie Newmar, absolutely, hands down. Yeah.
Hands down, but I really loved Eartha Kitt because she could purr like
she could do that.
The other ladies. And also, you guys remember in the Batman movie, it was Lee Merriweather that was the Catwoman for that. She only did that one appearance.
Only did that. Yeah, it was Lee Merriweather's birthday the other day, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah? How old was she?
About a week. Oh. She older than Methuselah. She was old. She was in her 90s, I believe.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Merriweather.
I can't remember how old. But yeah, Eva Marie Saint's birthday yesterday. She's 101.
101,
wow. Yeah. Do you know that the actress that was the stand-in, in Wizard of Oz, where they open up the door and go from black and white, sort of sepia tone to color, the stand-in for Dorothy is still alive. She's 106 years old. Her birthday is later this year. Wow. She'll be 107. She's still living.
Party time.
I mean, only a couple years ago did the actress that played in Gone with the Wind passed away, and that was 1939. So was The Wizard of Oz. That was a great movie year. You know, there's just certain years that are great movie years. I think 1984 was, you know, our graduating year. Mikey, wasn't too bad. You did graduate in 84, didn't you?
I graduated in 1983, actually, from high
Oh,
school.
wow. You're smarter than me then. Oh, that's right.
I wouldn't
That's
say
right.
smarter.
Okay. You know, actually, if I would have been born, I think almost like a month earlier, and my
You'd have
cousin
been as
was.
smart as
he was-
him.
No, we would have been in the same graduating year, which would have been bad
Yeah.
because our 1983 at our school, that was a rough crowd. You know,
They were pretty rough.
84 was
favorite-
a little bit more mellow, you know.
Yeah. But in '83, one of my favorite memories was at graduation, and
Okay.
a friend of mine who is now passed away, Stacy Connor, was one of those little people. She was one of the short people, you know, short ladies,
Oh, wow.
whatever. And she and I came up at the graduation platform. This was out on the football field of our school, Paradise Valley High School, and we came up at the same time to get our diplomas. So we came up with this weird idea as we're like walking up there together, you know, boys on one side, girls on the other. And I said, you know what? I'm going to carry you down like it's like something out of a wedding, you know, like after you get married, and it's like, you know, when you carry them over the threshold. So when we got our diplomas, I picked her right up, and my mother is freaking out, going, "Don't drop her," because she was in shock. And I mean, my parents were just in shock that I would even do this. But you know, a lot of us were just pulling, you know, little pranks. And I said, well, this is a pretty big prank. I'm holding this, you know, 5 foot, you know, less than 5'2", you know, woman, and you know, considerably, and I'm carrying her down from the platform with both of our you know, stuff on. You know, we threw our hats off, you know, whatever, had our diplomas. That was so much fun. That's a great memory. It really, really is. Of course, I feel bad she passed away, but I did get to I got to speak at her memorial service, so that was nice. Yeah, they asked me to, and I said, yeah, I would definitely do that. So I did.
Timothy Olsen says, I was 4 in 1983.
Yeah.
I
And
graduated
Carrie
in
was asking.
1975.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I just did. Zed and Odysseus over
Odysseus?
on Amazon. You can get it full length paperback.
Nice.
Little
20th
riff
May,
on Star Wars here.
2025. Okay, so you did answer Carrie's question. Okay,
I did. I was
Yeah.
showing it as you spoke. Yes, indeed.
as I spoke. Right.
Yeah, got
Yeah.
It's monsoon in here, guys. I
No,
got the
you know what?
dog out.
Wow, it's clear as a bell here.
I got the dog out just in time.
The
Yeah,
wind's
you know
barely
what,
blowing.
Timothy?
Maybe I'll get that water. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I was just
We
answering
could use
Timothy's
the good
question.
rain.
He was like, "What? Drop her? No. Stacy knew I was going to hold her up. She knew that I was going to carry her all the way
Gary
down.
says,
That
LZ
was
sent you a
always not
link
even
in
a question.
Facebook for Timothy in chat. Here's current book released in May, only $9.99. I thought you may enjoy it.
Oh, cool.
Timothy does great comics, and we all need to show off what he creates.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm still looking for my damn dirty thing. I do have a tracking number. At least Doc said I was sent one. I haven't even checked my Gmail in a few days.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna say keep collecting and
Keep collecting.
yeah, keep collecting.
Yeah,
You got
keep
yours.
collecting.
When did yours come in the mail?
I've had it for over a month.
Nice.
Okay, I would kicking, but we're at the end of the show anyway.